What is going on, guys? We are the Little Kings. My name is Ryan, aka No Mercy Merc.
And my name is also Ryan, aka Penguin Monster. On this episode of the Little Kings podcast, we talk about Doc's return to Twitch, sorta. The console wars have begun. PlayStation has fired back at Xbox. We're over here chilling on PC. And gosh, we really wish we held on to our Pokemon cards. That and a whole bunch more.
Let's go ahead and get into it. All right, I know this podcast, we focus on games a lot, you know. We tend to dive really deep into the gaming rabbit hole.
Occasionally.
And I want to start a little different. You
Okay.
know, I want to get your opinion on the term boneless chicken wings. I don't know. You don't have Facebook, so you might not have seen this video going around.
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
There was this video of this guy who made an appeal in a courtroom. It literally looked like a scene out of like Park and Rec. Have you seen Parks and Rec?
Of course. Yeah.
He literally is like, I think we need to ban the term boneless chicken wings in our community because we are lying to our children. The meat in this little thing of chicken has nothing to do with its wing. And he's going on and he's saying that like this is literally the worst thing that's happened to society in 2020 is that we're still lying to our children about it being chicken wings.
Yeah, well, there's not much bad that's happened in 2020, so he might be right.
I know. I think he's on to something.
It's been a pretty great year so far. So
yeah. So he claims that they should be called Mini-Tendies or like like if you still want a chicken tender type of meat but small, like that's fine.
I was not with him, but until he came up with the term Mini-Tendies, and now I kind of want that to be the term.
I kind of agree. Like it totally doesn't make sense to call it a wing. Yeah.
Well, so it's definitely not a wing. It's usually white meat that's like ground up and made into a fried substance. However, the eating method is very similar to regular chicken wings. So when you go to order, usually you're at a place and you're like, I'm going to have the wings. They'll say bone in or boneless. If you say boneless, like, then that's the experience you get. It's still the same as when you eat chicken wings. You get the dips, all that kind of stuff, but they just don't have bones in them.
But these poor children, think about the children, Ryan. They're literally out there thinking that these chickens have flaccid wings that just don't have bone in them. Can't fly at all. If you're like,
how do you feel about seedless grapes?
I mean, I think there's something wrong with our farmers that they've
genetically modified
these. Yeah, they shouldn't have modified these grapes.
So, also, don't grapes get pitted occasionally, or that's olives. That's olives. Yeah.
I just think we shouldn't be lying to the children. I think when he brings in the children, like that's where it gets like really emotional and hits like deep.
So if I were to have a kid one day, that would probably be one of the more awkward conversations with them. It's not the birds and the bees. It's boneless chicken wings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would think so. Like that would carry a heavy weight on my shoulders as a parent.
Yeah, I kind of see your point now.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, I'm glad we can build awareness in this podcast as well. So that makes me feel pretty good.
Definitely.
Okay.
I'm glad you feel supported on.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. There's not many things.
So what came of it from the like city hall meeting or whatever it was?
Oh, I mean, it really just showed a clip of him. It was literally him just standing up there for 30 seconds, professing his love for, or I should say, non-love for the term boneless chicken wings. And so it's very emotional. It really is. Like, you really should give it a listen.
Can you imagine feeling strongly enough about a subject to go to a town hall meeting like that and bring it up?
Yeah. I mean, this guy was a little weird to start with. But
No, you're kidding.
believe it or
Seems
not,
like a completely sane thing to do.
dude, believe it or not, uh,
Where do we go from here?
dude, honestly, like wings soaring. Do you know who's soaring to new platforms?
Who?
Doc.
Doc.
Actually, Doc made his return to Twitch.
Oh, with other
Kind of.
other creators. Yeah.
Kind of, yes. So he was in a voice chat with Nadeshot during a Call of Duty tournament, and Nadeshot took the risk.
And nothing has happened so far.
Nothing's happened so far.
Actually, I think now he's been with a few different people from Twitch. The most famous people have not been banned, but I think there have been a few people banned.
Oh,
I think I
didn't hear
saw
about this, actually.
Yeah, I think I saw a Jake Lucky tweet talking about this. And Jake Lucky was like, I just want to understand if people are going to get banned or not because it looks like it's inconsistent. Because I know Nadeshot and then another person on Twitch, Snoop Dogg, which that's fantastic in itself that Snoop Dogg's streaming now. But they played together as well. And Snoop Dogg was not banned.
Snoop Dogg is on Twitch?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not realize that he was on Twitch. Mm-hmm. I saw the little trailer or thing that Doc posted or whatever.
Sure.
And I just assumed it was a YouTube thing. But I don't know. It would make sense for Snoop Dogg to be on Twitch, probably.
Doggy Dog 20.
Wow.
198,000 followers.
Well, he couldn't get his name. Like he couldn't get a better name than that.
What?
And he had to put numbers after that.
Well, I think it's like 420.
It wasn't even
probably.
420.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not 420. I wonder if Twitch won't let you. No, they've got.
No, I've seen people with 420.
Yeah, I take that back.
Like, what if that's my birthday? You can't take that from me.
Wasn't it Hitler's birthday?
That I don't know. That I'm unaware of.
Well, now I have to look it up. Hitler's V-Day was April 20th.
Lit. Lit.
Fun fact. What the fuck is this podcast?
Dude, we're soaring to new heights. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I do wish there was an actual ruling of like who's gonna be banned. I wish there wasn't a gray area. I don't think there should be a gray area. And
I just feel like, how can they have any power in terms of who you talk to while you're on your stream? Like, what if you meet someone in game? Like, to me, that doesn't make sense. I totally understand not allowing them on your platform as a creator or a streamer, but to not allow people to even chat with someone, even if they're friends with them and have regularly played with them, that just seems too extreme to me.
Yeah, because, like, are they gonna... I think about the rare cases of, like, if I randomly queue up with him in a public Warzone lobby, like, am I under threat? Do they got voice recognition? Can I watch a Doc YouTube video on Twitch? Or is it only when he's also live? Like, I don't know.
All questions. I don't know.
I don't think they know.
I don't think so either.
Handle this. Because I don't know if they never
and we still don't know
this happening.
We still don't know what's going on. So
exactly, yeah.
I'm kind of upset with Twitch at this point as well. Like, just tell us.
Yep. So. Or at least like if there are any NDAs or something surrounding it, like let Doc tell us, like, or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, I know I'm just rattling off like literally all of my topics, but while we're talking about announcements,
Sure.
Ninja also made the announcement that he's going exclusive to Twitch.
Oh, yeah, we missed a week of a podcast, so yeah, I
We
forgot we
did.
didn't talk about that.
We did. So, yeah, he announced exclusivity. He had his first stream about 2 hours after announcing his exclusivity. Maxed out at like 115,000 viewers. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
I mean,
not Shroud levels, but
yeah, not Shroud level, not Doc level, but pretty.
yeah,
Pretty good.
the thing with him is also he had been streaming a few times before he like launched, you know? So
Yeah.
like when he first appeared on YouTube after doing nothing for a little while, I think that was pretty highly viewed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was as big as the other folks, but he also didn't make as big of a deal about announcing it. He kind of just went on.
That's true. That's a good point.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, he
That's a
also,
good point.
I don't think he has the viewership power anymore that he used to, obviously. Not like the Fortnite
Yeah.
days.
Poor Fortnite. Poor Fortnite. I look at the top categories on Twitch now, and it's literally like some of the most simple games. Like Among Us is almost always number one.
Among
now.
Us is blowing up.
It's
like
huge.
I thought Fall Guys was like crazy popular, but Among Us has way overtaken Fall Guys.
Yeah, I've never seen these amount of viewers in a single category before.
Do you find it fun to watch?
I do. I find myself watching YouTube videos for like hours on it, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. I think it's really interesting when they can bring so many high profile people together that can collab, and like you usually don't see them interact with each other as much as they are doing now.
Right.
So I think that's the most entertaining part of it. And I think that's what obviously that's what brings so many people into the category, because it's like all 10 of those people streaming at the same time. It's like they're bringing all 10 of their fan base into one category, so it just makes it stick out.
Right, it's like a huge collab. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I was super into Fall Guys and like all in on that. I haven't watched a single video. I haven't played it one time. I don't know why. I mean,
think the
maybe if
thing
I
is-
did watch it, I'd be like, okay, this is awesome. But I don't know. It just hasn't like pulled me in for whatever reason.
Yeah, I think everybody switched gears to Among Us too. Like, I think if I'd love to see a graph of the amount of content actually produced for each game on YouTube, and see just how steep that drop is for Fall Guys once Among Us started catching wind.
Yeah, the problem is they're kind of, I mean, they're obviously very different games, but they're kind of along the same style, I guess. Like, they're both party games, right? Like, so I think it makes sense that like it would pull off of one game and onto another.
I think what's really interesting is that it's kind of a movement away from extremely competitive games.
Yes. Yes.
Which is so
it's kind
nice.
of a breath of
because
fresh air. Yeah.
It is. And I think it kind of aligns with 2020 kind of perfectly.
It's very
because
true.
it's lighthearted, fun,
No
low
stress.
graphic game. Like, I mean,
Well, there's stress. Yeah, there's
stress,
but
in
not
them,
like
but-
overall stress, you know?
Yeah,
Like try
exactly.
hard, like
Yes, it's
Yeah.
the try hard thing.
Yeah.
It's the try hard sweats.
yeah.
Yeah. And they're pretty fast paced. Like, you can be over with a round of Among Us within 10, 15 minutes, boot up another one. Like, they're really quick too.
Yeah, not a huge
So-
commitment.
I love it. I love Among Us more than Fall Guys. I know I shit on Fall Guys a little bit at the beginning. I got into it after I got a couple wins. But I knew it was going to have a really short life. I hope their update in October boosts them back up a little bit. But we'll
Yeah,
see.
I haven't played it in probably a couple weeks,
Yeah.
just because there's not really anything different about it. But
Same.
I mean, I have been having the most fun I think I've ever had on stream with two of the most random games ever. One being PGA Tour, which I think we talked a little bit about last podcast, and then another being a game from 2018, which is called Detroit Become Human, which I don't know. It's been so much fun. It's like a playable movie, basically. So it's been a lot of fun with chat, and it's also a beautiful game for having come out in 2018. I guess because it's not so intensive in terms of a million things happening at once, the graphics themselves can be really good.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm very excited when I get my new GPU to see what the ultra settings look like on it, because I bet it's going to be very pretty.
True. It's funny because both those games fall exactly in line with like low stress.
Yeah.
Like
Absolutely.
very 2020-esque.
Absolutely.
So that's so interesting.
Although I don't know if I'd say PGA is low stress, to be honest.
That's true. I've seen some of your compilation videos that are very rage inducing.
Yes.
They make me upset.
Yeah, it's a good time though, for sure.
But like in terms of watching, like I've watched your PGA streams, and like as a viewer, it's relaxing for me because I'm watching you rage and I kind of laugh.
Right.
And so it's like, yeah.
Well, and it's not
suffer,
like a million things are going on. It's like complex to watch type of thing. It's like, you know what's happening.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, another thing I wanted to bring up about Among Us.
Yeah.
Is that it's really nice that actually I've seen larger streamers actually have more chat interaction because they're muted a good portion of the time.
Oh, right.
Because when they're playing, it's like if they're doing a task that takes 10 seconds, it's like they're muted. They can talk to chat without having to mute, focus on the game, stuff like that. So like that's another thing that I've loved seeing. Yeah. And I think that goes along with your PGA and Become Human, right? That's what it's called.
Yeah, Detroit Become Human.
Detroit. Yeah, Detroit. It's like your chat interaction's been through the roof.
Right. Definitely.
With those types of games.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I actually watched an interesting YouTube video. I got like the past, I don't know, 5 or 6 days, I got down these rabbit holes of just watching like different video essays and like documentary type videos on YouTube. And there was one that was on Twitch and I think it was Twitch and Loneliness, are basically, you know, how certain people will go on Twitch instead of YouTube or any kind of other platform because they get that chat interaction. So it was a little bit about that and the viewership side. But then it also divided up smaller streamers and bigger streamers and the ability they have to interact with their chat, and how basically the bigger streamers, even if they really want to and care a lot about their viewers and want to try to interact with them as much as possible, it's just going way too fast to have any sort of meaningful conversation. And there's just so many people that even if you were to be able to read certain aspects and respond on that, there's no relationship that gets developed between a chatter and a big streamer. Whereas the smaller streamers, which they were, I think, talking about a little bit bigger than us, obviously. But even like at our level, we know our regular viewers now and like have an interest in how they're doing genuinely, and like we'll remember certain aspects that they brought up of what they're doing in their lives and be able to bring that up. And you do develop more of, it's obviously not like a true friendship, like there's it because it's still a one-sided conversation. I'm talking verbally, but the viewer is just texting in. But there is much more of a relationship there. And it's interesting that like that, I think, is one of the aspects I like the most about streaming. And like, obviously I have goals to try to grow and do better and better. But I was thinking how like that would be kind of sad to me, and a big aspect that would be lost if I were to get to a much higher level and kind of lose the ability to do that, even if I really wanted to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally agree that like it's the moments like these that our streaming career is at right now that like we're definitely going to take for granted if anything were to come of this. Because I stream for my chat most of the time.
Right.
Like like yeah, I love playing games. I would play games even if I weren't streaming, but I I do it for them probably more than myself at this point. Now that we have enough like of a following, I guess, or like a community.
Yeah.
Like I still enjoy streaming, don't get me wrong. I don't like force myself to stream because I know people are counting on me, but like it's nice knowing that I'm going to be able to interact with these people that I'm used to like interacting with and like hanging out with and stuff. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to take days like these for granted eventually. I feel like even if like I stop streaming altogether and be like, you know what, this isn't a viable hobby anymore, maybe I'm losing interest in it, it's like I'm still gonna miss the days of streaming and just chatting with chat and
Right. Yeah,
having that
absolutely.
connection.
It's funny. I was talking to Christina, my wife, last night, right before stream, and I was like, I kind of don't feel like streaming tonight, or I was like, I'm kind of just bored of like gaming in general right now, and I was just a little bit down about it. And then I went live and started streaming and started getting chat interaction, and like I was halfway through and I was like, wow, I'm having a really good time. Like I was like, this is the most fun I've had, in the past few days for sure. And I got done with the stream and I was like, wow, it's so weird how I went into it like really expecting for it to be a drag, and then I came out of it like, man, I can't wait to do the next one.
Mm-hmm.
And it really was because of the chat interaction and that kind of stuff versus the playing the actual game or trying to produce the actual content. So I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, I've gotten to the point where that's happened enough times to me that I've just told myself that even if I don't want to, I should. Because
Yeah.
there literally has not been a time that I haven't felt better after a stream than I did before the stream. What
Yeah.
even if I was on cloud 9 before the stream, it's like it's still like marginally like it might be a little bit better, but every single time I've gone live in probably the last 2 months, it's been like I've ended better than I started.
Just hit go live.
Just hit go live. Literally, like, yeah, just go live.
I mean, we've also talked about like the need to sometimes take a day off or kind of recharge the batteries.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it is important to keep a bit of inertia, a bit of momentum going, because I have had points before where if I skip too many streams, like I just don't want to get back to it, because you kind of lose the memory of it really being that fun, and you just think of the kind of more monotonous parts about it and the parts that are work, because it's not all just like easy. It takes a little bit of work. So yeah, I mean, I tried it for like a month at one point, way long ago. This was back in the Mixer days, and then I stopped. I started just getting inconsistent with it, and then one day just kind of decided to stop, and it was like a year until I picked it up again. And I'm so glad I did, but I just know if I miss too many in a row, I might get back to that same place, because I'll just forget about all the good times type of thing for whatever reason. But I'm kind of like that in general with most things. I have to really get into a routine and stick to it, or else I'll just fall off with it.
Totally. Yeah. And I was actually, it's funny. I was literally thinking about this before we started recording this podcast. Is like we skipped last week, right?
Yep. First time.
And yeah, first time in like 10 weeks or 9 weeks
Yeah, I
or
think this is
something.
episode 10, this one. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Which is pretty
that
good. It's pretty
We've
good.
been this consistent.
Yeah.
So
For us.
so yeah, I know for us. If you guys only knew the projects that we have built up in our minds before, and then just did it once and just nosedived.
Yes.
But yeah, I was literally even before you hit the go live in OBS Streamlabs, you asked, "Are you sure you want to do this tonight? We can push it till Friday. We can push it till Saturday." And I was like, "No, like I just need
if we
to
do
start.
that, yeah.
If we do that, we're skipping another week, and if we do that, we're skipping another week." And so, like, I literally was questioning whether or not I actually wanted to do the podcast tonight. But I was like,
Why do you think I
there's no
asked you
better
that
time.
question?
Because it didn't seem like I wanted to do the podcast.
No,
right?
because if you said, yeah, let's wait, I would have been like, okay, we're just going to wait then because I have the same thing in me.
Exactly. But like now that we've started, like, do you?
Oh, no,
not
I'm having a
feel
great
like
time.
This is like one of the best nights we could have done it.
Yeah, I'm
Exactly.
It's great. I'm glad we did it.
Yeah, me too. So it's literally like the mindset is everything.
Yeah.
You, like, even if you go in negative, it can like turn out so positive.
Definitely. I have very similar struggles with like eating healthy and working out too. Like,
Oh, yeah.
like I'll get on these cycles where I really start doing it and I'm like, this is the best thing ever. I'm never gonna let this slip ever again. And then the same thing, if it's like a week goes by and I haven't worked out, then it like slowly starts to get worse. And then it takes forever to be like, okay, I'm gonna start up the routine again for sure.
Yep.
So I don't know what
think
that is.
so. There was a time in my life. I was about like 14. I was really insecure about myself, and in that time, it was the time of YouTube where I don't know if you remember these videos, but they were like picking up girls and how to pick up girls. It was this like Asian guy who like I don't remember.
There's
but
like pickup artist videos, right?
yeah, it was something like that. And then they made like a little tutorial, kind of like the
Yes.
steps to go through to actually talk to a girl the first time and stuff like that, because I was awful at talking to any female species. And he was the first person that told me that it takes 40 days of a consistent routine for it to turn into a habit,
Yes.
where it no longer has to be at the forefront of your mind all the time in order to force yourself to do it. And so, like, probably one of the worst mentors I could ask for from the internet, but this one thing stuck and has stuck with me for 10 plus years.
It's so true.
So,
And then the horrible part is it doesn't take 40 days on the other side to lose it.
no.
Like it's like 7 days to me. It's yeah.
It's so much harder to build a habit than it is to break a habit, or to break a habit.
Yeah.
Build,
Yeah. I think that's right.
That the previous thing I was saying. Yeah. The right one.
Yeah.
Anyways, it does. I was going to talk to you about this off stream, but now that we're on this whole topic of being like a little sentimental and stuff,
let's do it.
I'll go ahead and cry a little bit, and then we'll go into this.
Oh no.
No, I won't cry. I'll hold it back until we're alone, and then I'll let it go.
Okay.
It's been much more difficult to stream lately, just with my non-interest of games. Like, I don't know what to play because I don't feel like playing anything. And like, I don't know if I just want to do just chatting streams, or like, because I enjoy those, but I don't know. What were you gonna say?
I wanted you to kind of expand, like, so you said you're disinterested in games, but you're still like the overall streaming portion of it. So like,
Absolutely, yeah.
so have you thought about, so there's just chatting where it's like literally like this, where you just sit in front of a computer and just talk to your chat, which I think you like in general.
Yeah, definitely.
But have you thought about doing any kind of creative things outside of that in the just chatting realm that's totally nothing to do with gaming? I know you've done cooking ones before, kind of stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. So the cooking one's definitely difficult because like my girlfriend doesn't want to be on stream, so therefore I'd have to kick her out of the kitchen. Or
What
like
about
we don't
nights when
have a
she
separate
works?
kitchen. Huh?
Do you still eat together nights she works?
Yeah. Yeah, we still cook
Oh,
together
okay, okay.
before she actually goes to work. So it's like I'd have to cook two meals that night. The meal that we have together and then the meal on stream, and
Nobody
that's a
wants to do
lot.
that. Yeah,
No
no.
one wants to do that
No.
because then you have to do the dishes in between the two meals too. So you're like you're already your whole night
No,
is
that
you just want to be done.
yeah, yeah.
I'm surprised I can get on stream after cooking a meal and doing dishes and that.
Yeah.
But it, yeah, I've thought about doing more creative stuff for sure, and like I could venture into more creative stuff like doing an edit on stream, or I don't know how interested certain people would be in that, or like my loyal community or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. No games have just been drawing me towards them. We talked about this in the last podcast, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it,
Yeah.
that
So
there just
even
wasn't anything interesting right now.
even like the choice-based games you've been playing and stuff you haven't been as into?
Yeah, I mean, Tell Me Why was really good, but I feel like there's only so much I want to do of that too.
Do you think
I don't know.
there's any Honestly, this would be much easier to talk about outside of a podcast, I think. 'Cause
For sure.
You can be
Yeah.
just totally brutally honest and not have to worry about any repercussions. So definitely, like, we can do that. But I'm just wondering if there's any kind of part of you that, like, you're starting to kind of hit a stride and you're becoming definitely a little bit more successful with the stream. You've got more followers, you've got more average viewers, you've started making YouTube content that's starting to pick up as well. Is there, you think, some kind of pressure surrounding that, and where that's kind of in the back of your head when you're doing these things? And do you think that's maybe affecting you a little bit and you're not able to choose truly what you would just like to do?
I think yes and no. Like one, I think I'm definitely not doing everything that I would like to do, because there are like very probably like unpopular games that I would probably be playing, but like they're literally boring to watch. I wouldn't watch them.
Right.
Like me as a viewer would not watch them, but I enjoy playing them because they're monotonous and grindy and like, but they're just not entertaining.
Yeah.
So like I wouldn't be able to rewatch my VOD. And like that's not the kind of content that I want to like produce, because I can play those games off stream.
Sure.
And that's my enjoyment.
Oh,
and that's
so
fine.
that's a quick. We'll come back to this, but that's a quick question there. Have you been gaming less outside of stream as well?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
I literally before my stream yesterday, I hadn't played video games for 6 days.
Didn't you play?
That is literally the longest
Didn't
stretch.
you play Spell?
Oh, you're right. Before Spell Break, I hadn't played for 6 days.
Okay.
Before the day before, it was like a long period of time where I just didn't feel like I would rather just sit down and watch Netflix, like not have to really like do anything.
Yeah.
Just sit there mindlessly. And like there's definitely some mindless games, but the other thing is I definitely do build up the like, is this entertaining outside of Twitch as well too, in my head, to be like, maybe I should do something because it's performing well elsewhere. And that's not good to do, I know, but
it's natural and it's gonna happen.
I know.
Yeah, I've been struggling with that as well. And I've just been trying to think of like, I almost feel like I want to keep my YouTube side, and I haven't done anything different, but I almost feel like I want to do completely different things over in YouTube land.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the problem is a lot of times you want the content that's there forever, like YouTube, to be able to send people back to your live streams. So
Right.
if you get too outside of the realm of gaming and things that people live stream on Twitch, then you run the risk of like no crossover there.
Mm-hmm.
But I agree, like there's definitely a difference between, in my eyes, what is great to have on a live stream and what can still work on YouTube. And so that's hard. There's certainly stuff that's like kind of in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
But I think even that content, like I don't know if I love just stream highlights on YouTube. Like
Mm-hmm.
it is cool. Like it's fun to do the edits, and like we have an editor, or we work with Tharpe Diem, who like it's really fun to work with him as well. But like at the end of the day, it's still just like taking previously done content and kind of cutting that up, maybe adding some stuff to it, but it's not totally new creatively.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I have similar struggles with that as well, I guess, but I've kind of still been prioritizing Twitch for now. Like
Mm-hmm.
just what I think would be the most fun to do on stream for now, and then kind of worrying about the YouTube part later.
Yeah, and I think so. This literally just dawned on me that do you remember when when we both made the switch from Mixer to Twitch? You said to me, like, dude, you are kicking it in high gear right now. This is the most dedicated I've seen you and the most enthusiastic I've seen you for
Absolutely.
streaming in the last 9 months.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was the drive for affiliate. Like that was the goal.
Yeah.
By like I set a like very ambitious what I thought timeline was by like September or October
Uh-huh.
to hit affiliate. And I had hit that within 2 weeks of streaming or something crazy.
Right.
And they like I wonder if there's a lack of goal setting for me right now when it comes to the streaming area, because like the jump from affiliate to partner
It's
is
huge.
astronomical.
Yeah.
Like to average 75 viewers for partnership is so difficult.
Yeah.
Like so I wonder if Twitch could benefit from another intermediate,
More
maybe
stepping
more,
stones.
yeah,
Yeah.
more stepping stones that makes it like unlocks in a game. Like
Yeah. I think
I
that
wonder if they could benefit
I
from that.
absolutely think that's true. I mean, let's like rehab this conversation in like a month or two,
Yeah.
because I'm like at some of the most motivated that I am right now, because I am 5 followers away from affiliate. And
Yes.
so I'm like, let's fucking go. Like, I'm like, let's get this done. Because I've also had the goal of affiliate, and it's been a while. I was trying to get it before end of year. It's really looking like that's going to happen. But you're right. Like, what then? You know?
Yeah.
And it's like, it still is going to be great to have like good streams, and I'm still going to get that same feeling afterwards, but I don't think there's going to be as much of a goal, like you said.
Yeah.
Because I think my average viewers is like 6 or something right now. I've had streams that are more successful than that, but like my overall 30-day average is around 6 or 7, something like that. So like, I don't know how I'm gonna get 70 more. Like,
Yeah.
it's like that's just so far in the distance, yeah, it would be great if there was more stepping stones in terms of live stream content. So I wonder if I'll kind of flip like you, where there are more goals on the recorded content side. I don't know.
Yeah, so I have two things. This is all coming to me in real time. This is literally
Awesome.
the best. Okay. So the first thing is, oh no, I just forgot the first thing. I'll jump to two.
I'm so excited about these things.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm so excited. As of right now, I am more excited when I get +1 subscriber on YouTube than I do +1 follower on Twitch. Even +1 subscriber on Twitch. I feel almost guilty saying that because like each person like matters to making me like successful in this industry, whether it be on either platform, you know? So like I'm appreciative of both people as people.
Sure. I think we could safely say, as a caveat to all of this, like, it's amazing. All of this is incredible, and we really like it. So when we're talking about it, it's like levels of things.
Yes. Yeah. I just want to make that caveat so it's very clear to everyone that like we're not already taking all this for granted and like everything's appreciated. Like
all this money that we made.
Look. It's not about the money. It's about the support. It's about creating entertainment. It's about making people happy. If I can increase the happiness of one person on one single day, I did exactly what I set out to do when I started doing this whole hobby. So I get more excited at 1 sub on YouTube than on Twitch because I have that goal on YouTube to hit 100 subscribers to get that custom URL link. Like that is my biggest goal as of right now, just because Twitch is so far away. So far away.
That's interesting. That, I mean, I get that because like you said, it's the goal setting. But when it comes, I would understand if you were more excited about 1 subscriber on YouTube than a follower on Twitch. But the thing to me with Twitch is that people are paying to subscribe to you on Twitch, which to me is like, that's a pretty high barrier of entry to most people. Like, I can't tell you how many apps I didn't download because they were 99 cents, where it's like, clearly I can afford $1, but it's something about like, if it's not free, is it like, then I question, is it worth it? And like, usually it's not, type of thing. So to me, like getting a sub on Twitch would be like very rewarding, because it's like, this person not only liked me enough to hit a button and is like interested in checking out things in the future, they liked my content so much that they're now wanting to reward me financially, like with their own hard-earned money that they did their job for, or their parents did their job for. So like, to me, it would still be, I don't know if I would consider YouTube subs above the Twitch subs, even though like there's not that goal, because there's not like a certain number of subscribers you have to hit for anything, right?
For Twitch?
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Nothing.
Is there? Well, like, I guess like emotes. Right. Yeah.
I have 2 empty spots waiting for me that I need to like make emotes for. But no, I know it. I see what you're saying, and like it's very like flattering, and like there's no better feeling than someone financially supporting a hobby and something that you're really passionate about.
Yeah, no, I kind of get it. It's like gamification almost, right? Like, yeah. Like, if there's a line to hit, you naturally are looking at that and wanting to hit it. Yeah, but that line can't be too far.
I think literally, like, I think my whole perspective on the whole situation is just very skewed right now to pleasing each platform to hit their prescribed goals than it is for me to just do what I'm meant to do as a streamer.
Which is funny because you talk to anybody who gets to any kind of level of success, and they always say, like, just do what you want to do because viewers can tell, and like they want to see you do what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I think a little bit of that is BS. Like, it's just like it's a nice sentiment to say, like, you know, be who you are type of thing. There's clearly some people who are more attractive to other people. But yeah, I do think there is a part where you still have to be genuine, but you make decisions based on what you think would be most successful, and that's natural too.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
So
yes. Second that. Reiterate what he said over there. All right.
Yeah.
Well, let me get my tissues out. I can't recall number one of my two things that I wanted to hit on, but
oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it'll come to me. We'll talk about it one-on-one. That'll be our one-on-one discussion.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I've got a topic we can talk about that's a little bit more topical.
Okay.
PS5, PlayStation 5 conference was today.
Yeah.
The reveal was today. I'm less interested in the PlayStation 5 itself since I am a PC gamer. Although I might get a PS5 at some point because we do have one group of friends that still likes to play on there. I don't know. We'll see about that. Basically, the main highlights from it, just as kind of a news thing, 2 different editions. One being the full edition, which has an optical drive. That is $499. The other one being a digital-only edition. Exact same thing, just no optical drive, being $399. I thought we could talk a little bit about those two real quick, and then there's a bunch more to go over in terms of games, which is really what I was more excited about.
Okay. So I think before we dive into this, Xbox last week, which we missed because we missed last week's podcast.
True. I forgot.
But they also came out with a digital-only version of the Xbox Series S.
It is underpowered, though, right?
Oh, it doesn't have the same graphical.
I'm pretty sure it's lower spec'd. Yeah. I'm almost positive on that because they're at $299.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of where this difference is coming from.
Yeah.
But if that's it, then that makes sense.
Yeah. We should be more informed on that before we...
Wait a minute.
What?
I'm looking at the price difference of the PS5.
Yeah.
What optical drive are they buying for $100? Like, is it really $100?
I don't think it's $100 at all. I think they want to encourage you to get the digital edition because they make a lot more money in the long run if you buy digital games. Because there's less sales because they don't have to compete with any retailers. It's just based off the store that they have. There's no sharing of games because there's no physical games. And there's it completely changes on their back end ecosystem, whether you have a digital edition or a regular edition.
This is the most 5-head move of 2020. That literally went over my head. They would have suckered me in. they would have got me.
Well, I'm still going to, we can talk about that. I still will go digital.
You'll go digital only.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't need a disc.
Yeah. Like, no, even knowing that, like, I don't think I'm going to play enough that the sale difference is going to matter that much to me. I only go digital anyways. I have a extreme bias towards that because I had a PlayStation 4 that I bought a lot of physical games for, and I packed it up in a box for a move, and the movers didn't number the box and stole it from me. So that was very upsetting, and I lost all of those games. Whereas if I buy digital, even if I lose the physical hardware, if that gets stolen or somehow breaks or something like that, I can just re-download once I get the new physical thing. So that's an extreme bias I have, but also I just find it much easier. Like you don't have to deal with you don't have to deal with getting up off the couch and hitting the eject button. And no, I'm just laughing because I'm so lazy.
Oh,
like
okay.
this is one of the main pros for me is like I don't have to physically take out a disc, put it in a case, get out another case, open it up, take it. And like, yeah, I think it's a no-brainer, especially at $100 less. I would go digital edition if I bought it. But I do understand a lot of people like physical media as well.
Yeah. The tangible just feel of it is what gets people excited, almost more excited about the game than the actual game itself.
Yeah.
And that smell, oh, you can't beat that smell though. But you could just buy new Blu-rays for $5 at Walmart and get that same smell. So
yeah, I mean, a lot of people are talking about how it's basically like having an $100 Blu-ray drive, which is pretty cheap for, I think, a Blu-ray player.
Yeah.
So if you're into Blu-rays, it's probably still worth it to get the physical.
That's a good point too. Didn't even think of that.
But again, like I always get movies digitally. Like
yeah.
So, but it's funny because I also have a vinyl collection.
You're weird. You just contradict yourself. God, I hate getting up to like change this thing every 8 songs.
So the vinyl portion for me is, it does have a slightly different sound, but I will admit that is not the main selling point for me. It's very weird because it's a totally different medium. It's not the music mostly for me. I love the artwork on the album covers. I think album covers are beautiful. It's a shame that most albums only come out on Spotify and are only seen there. Like I have them displayed in my house, and I think it's like basically having an art piece there. So that's actually the portion I like the most about vinyl. But this is we're digressing a lot from the PS5.
We've gone away from it.
Yeah.
So then why even buy the $299 Xbox? Like
so
if it can't perform, like is it going to perform better than the Xbox now? Or like,
I think it's gotta, right?
I hope so.
Do we know the name of the other Xbox Series X thing?
Cheap.
Xbox cheap. Series S.
Oh, S?
Xbox Series S versus X. What's the difference?
Dude,
yeah, see, CPU is less. GPU much less.
Okay.
Okay, so performance target of
sorry. They only have 4 teraflops?
Yeah. Yeah. The performance target of the Series X, to get it less out of technical and more of just like what's going to happen to your game, 4K at 60 frames per second up to 120 frames per second. Series S is only 1440p at 60 frames per second up to 120 frames per second. Now, that's a performance target, meaning it'll probably perform much less than that in real life, I would assume. Because honestly, 1440 at 60 frames, if that were to be consistent, that to me is not a bad deal. At all. But probably not going to perform at that. Considering they had said current gen would be 1080p 60, and they're they're struggling all the time to get to 60 frames.
That's a good point. Okay. All right.
So that's why it's $299. PS5, exact same console, just no optical drive, $100 cheaper.
That's a no-brainer.
I think PS5. I think
Xbox lost.
I agree, and the game lineup as well. I think Xbox definitely lost.
Huh.
So
does PlayStation have a it's not a cloud, but like basically the library of games that the Game Pass. Xbox has Game Pass. Does PlayStation have that?
So they have the PS Plus, which gives you discounted games and does give you a certain number of games per month that are free. But it's not the same as Xbox Game Pass, which I think is one of the better Xbox products, especially since it's coming to PC as well.
Yes. So that's one of the things where I'm thinking like digital PlayStation 5 sounds worse off when you're comparing it to an Xbox digital only, slightly lower performance for $300, and you just tack on the $15 a month, and you instantly get 100 games that are constantly rotating with new titles. Like that's
the only thing
good.
that I've seen them say is that with PS Plus on the PS5, they will bring it's a huge number of titles from PS4 that will be free.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But that's not the same as Game Pass, where you have new titles that you pay a certain amount per month for and can still access. So
true.
But I think exclusive wise, PS5 has the better games.
I didn't watch the conference today, so if you could, is there like a highlight, maybe like top 3 games you would mention?
Well, I only wrote down 2 that are exclusives.
Okay, top 2 games that you would mention.
So when I think of Xbox exclusive, all I really know is Halo.
Okay.
However, that's coming to PC as well.
Yep.
So we'll call it console exclusive. How about that?
Okay.
PS5, they announced another God of War.
Mm-hmm.
And then Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Oh, okay.
Which I think are awesome exclusives. But that's not really fair, like 2 versus 1. Like they had an entire list of console exclusive that I just don't have here. I haven't written down. So look up the list. I think in terms of games, Sony is still ahead. The one interesting thing on Sony first-party titles, they announced they will be priced between $50 and $70. So there's going to be games that start not at $60 anymore, but $70.
I don't like this world.
Which is a little bit of a bummer. It's a little bit of a bummer. However, the first console exclusive that they have coming out, which is a launch title, which is Spider-Man Miles Morales, that's at $49.99. So it seems like they're at least being truthful where they say it will be between 50 to 70. But that could also be, hey, this is a launch title. Let's get them in for, the lowest part of it. In like a year, everything will be 70. So, but there was another game that was announced today that I'm very excited for. That is not a console exclusive. This will actually be everywhere, including PC. Harry Potter Legacy.
I saw that.
Yeah. I am a huge Harry Potter fan. And this just looks like if I were to think of a Harry Potter game that should happen, this is it. It's basically like an open world, almost RPG style Harry Potter, where, yes, I think you start out at Hogwarts, but it's completely open world. Like you can go anywhere in the Harry Potter universe, basically. And that's all I had to really hear. The trailer itself was very much like it was in-game video that they were showing, but it wasn't like it was just like bits and pieces. It's very much like a teaser trailer type thing. So
Yeah, it looked as though it was rendered on the engine that the game is played on, but you didn't see any like first person like actual control of
Right.
like
yeah, like I don't think it was anything that actually happens during the story, and there wasn't any kind of narrative that they gave type of thing. It was just there's going to be a Harry Potter game. It looks like this. Celebrate.
and boy we are.
Yeah,
Boy, we are.
I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. So
Wait, so has there been any gameplay reveals? Like not
from
the trailer.
PS5,
No, like any
you're saying outside of Harry Potter? Or you're saying in with Harry Potter?
with Harry Potter. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think this was like
okay.
the first. There was like a leak a couple years ago, I think, about this potentially being a game. But I think this was the first like actual announcement of it, and this is all we've seen from it.
Okay, cool. I'm excited for a gameplay trailer. That's
Yeah.
those are the ones I like.
Yeah,
But
for
yeah,
sure.
it piqued my interest for sure.
yeah.
I'm excited.
And I'm glad it's coming to PC.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah.
PC's the real one that won between the Xbox showcase and this Sony premiere.
Yeah,
PC one.
there were so many games. So there were a few PS5 exclusives, but there were so many games that the end card said PlayStation console exclusive, and there was an asterisk, and it would say also coming to PC. And I'm just like eating that up. I just want to see that more and more and more. Because I think Sony realizes that Xbox's strategy long term is involving PC as much as possible and trying to corner the market there.
That's a good point.
So
That's a really good point.
yeah, I'm very excited to wake up early and get my try to get my graphics card tomorrow.
Oh
So,
yeah, I really hope you're one of the lucky few. I really do.
you think it'll be that? Like they'll go that quick?
Literally, I think it's going to follow the exact same trend that happened with the 2080s. And literally, people got the notification, put it in their cart, went to check out, unavailable. Like they were ready, prepared, and the people who were prepared did not get what they were after.
Even though it's $700.
Yes.
But you would think, I just don't understand. Like, they know there's going to be a high desire for this.
Yeah.
Like, just make them.
I feel like you have a lot of faith in their manufacturing potential, and that like
No, I fully expect it to sell out. I just didn't think it would sell out in like a minute. You know.
I think it will.
Okay. I mean, that's like an iPhone.
Yeah, do you know how many iPhones they make before they sell out of them?
But I'm saying iPhone will sell out in like a minute, even though they make. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But iPhone is much more wanted.
There's a lot of PC gamers out there.
If you look up number of iPhone sales versus number of GTX 3080 sales, I guarantee you iPhone is exponentially bigger.
You don't think there are more GPUs in the world that need an upgrade than iPhones?
Well, that's a different question. Everybody would be fine not upgrading to a new iPhone,
Yep.
but there will
Everybody
be.
would not be fine not upgrading their GPU.
Oh, you gotta
Therefore,
go.
$700.
You gotta go to the 30 series. I mean, like, even if you're in the 20 series, like. But there's not an exponential gain with the next iPhone upgrade that will be like this. I guarantee you that.
That's true.
But there will be more iPhone upgrades than GPU upgrades.
Yeah. Yeah, this has been 2 years in the making. This is what we've been wanting for 2+ years. This is it.
But I'm saying
wanted
more iPhones will be upgraded than GPUs. In terms of just sheer number, because not everybody has a GPU.
Not everyone, no.
Our significant others don't give a shit about GPUs coming out. They'll want the new iPhone.
Valid, but how many Android users are there?
Not.
How many Pixel ones?
How many AMD users are out there?
How many what?
AMD users are out there.
Oh, they're switching to NVIDIA, baby.
Yeah, well, you would think, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
At least AMD has their CPUs.
Yeah, they do that. They do that going for them. I am excited for their reveal though, on both their new Zen 4 GPU or CPUs and their new 5000 series, 5 series. I don't know what they're calling them because theirs are always.
Weren't they already in the 5000s?
Are they?
I have the 5700
Maybe.
XT.
I don't know. I feel like I'm just not used to their naming convention
Yeah.
yet.
Do you think they're like shitting their pants over there because they can't compete, or do you think they're going to come out with something that can?
They're not going to compete.
Yeah, I agree.
No way.
Not this generation.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe they can get like a TI variant out sooner than GeForce and maybe bump down prices to get it competitive. But I don't see it being possible.
The price per power ratio with this set of cards is just unbelievable.
I still can't believe it. I can't believe it.
Can you imagine if this was like 4 or 5 years ago and Bitcoin mining was still as popular as it was?
Yeah.
Then it would sell out in a second as well.
See, so that's the people you have to worry about too, sweeping up all these GPUs, because they said that these new GPUs can mine Ethereum like 10 times faster than a 2080 Ti.
It's crazy. Have you ever seen? I watched a whole documentary on Bitcoin and Ethereum mining, and there's places where they have this entire warehouse just full of essentially like server racks, but they're GPU racks, and they're just mining this cryptocurrency.
That is crazy.
Like there's guys whose jobs are to come into those places and just work on airflow.
What a world. What a world.
But they've made so much money off of that. So
That's like that cheat that I used to have in Sims, where it was like it would rack up all my in-game currency if I just like left. I used to rest like my mouse on my enter button.
Oh.
That's what I feel. That's what mining is to me. Is like I just let this thing do its work while I basically
It basically is. It basically
and
is.
you rack up a cyber currency that's actually worth something. That is insane to me.
I will never forgive my parents because when I was in high school, I heard about Bitcoin when it was like cents. I don't even think it was above $1 yet. And they did this thing. Of course, I'm kidding when I say I'd never forgive my parents, but they did this thing where they wanted to teach me about like investing. So they gave me like $100, I think it was, and they would like match a certain amount so that I would actually like see some movement. And basically, they said like you do the research. You pick which stocks or whatever you want to invest in, and then we'll match up to a certain amount. And like that was how I was going to learn about markets and things like that. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, cool. So I did a lot of research, and I had to like kind of present my like what I was trying to go with to them, and then they would agree to match it based on what I presented to them.
Wow.
So, which I think actually was a very good exercise, honestly, as a parent.
Oh yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
I need to take notes.
Yeah. But I didn't come to him and say all $100 should go on Bitcoin. Like, I understand way back when that would have been like ridiculous. I gave them a plan that mostly was normal stocks. I think it was like different index funds, like all these things that I had learned about. And then I think I said I wanted to spend just $5 or $10 on Bitcoin.
Okay.
And the thing was, like, of course I could have just done it, but they were talking about like matching a certain amount, and I forget what it was. But they basically said yes to most of the things I presented except that. And they said they wouldn't match for that because they said there's no way that's going to do anything. And I think I remember looking up like what it would have been valued when it was at its height, you know, the other year, and like it would have literally been over $1 million worth. Like, and it's of course like there was no way anyone would know that, and that's part of the reason why not everybody has millions of dollars off of this, because obviously everybody couldn't have known. But it's just so funny, and we had like a moment where I told them that, and they're like, "Yeah, we messed up, obviously, in hindsight." So yeah,
The thing is, like, you would have had to hold on to it for 10 plus years or something.
Right. That's the other problem is like, I would have wanted to sell it when it was worth 10,000. You know,
Yeah.
I would have been like, that's like 1,000% return. I'm going to sell it now. There's no way it's going to make any better. Yeah. So that's the other thing is like, right. I wouldn't have held it.
Yeah. Or
But-
you might have. I don't know.
You probably would hold some of it, sell some of it, I would think.
Yeah. I'm holding Tesla till I die.
That's the other thing I've been trying to convince my parents to buy. Yeah.
It's a good thing they didn't at the 5-to-1 split. That it tanked.
Yeah. I saw
a
that.
couple days after it.
Yeah.
All right. So what time are we at? Just to get a gauge.
111.
111. Not bad.
Make a
I
wish.
think I want to touch on one more topic while we're on this like very very weird but very like relevant topic, is that I went to dinner tonight with a friend, and he told me that he has recently gotten into Pokemon card trading.
Ooh. Okay. I want to hear about this.
He told me that he had recently started doing research, and within the last 4 months, Pokemon prices have inflated over 300%. It's like the greatest move in the history of like collectibles. And what he ended up doing, and what he ends up doing almost every night, is scrolling through eBay looking for the best deals on Pokemon cards, and he struck a freaking gold mine the other night. He got a first edition holographic Charizard.
Oh, that's got to be like the most valuable.
He, dude, he.
Wait. Let's say the market price first, right? Or should we go the other way? Up to you. Up to you.
Okay. So this is what initially happened. The guy posted one on eBay for $4,000. And so he
Wait a
reached out
second. A singular card is $4,000.
Hold your phone for a second. $4,000 he posted on this eBay for this card. He reached out to the seller. The seller said, "You know what? I actually have another one. I'll bundle them together, and we'll say $7,500." And my neighbor fucking bought both of them. Okay, bought both cards. Got them in hand. He then needs to send them to a grading agency.
Right.
$500 per card to get them graded.
Okay, so he's at $8,500.
He's at $8,500. Okay, he gets
on Pokemon cards.
on Pokemon cards in 2020. Okay, he gets both cards back from the grading agency, a 7 and a 7.5 grade. Very good in terms of collectibles. There are only like of this company tracks all the grades and cards they do. There's only 7 other cards graded at 7.5. And like above that, there's like from 7.5 to a 10, there's only like 25 cards in existence that have a grade.
My
in
God.
there. So what does he do? He posts both of them on eBay and sells both of them. Well, he sells one for 9 grand and he sells the other one for 7 grand.
Jesus Christ.
He
So he made 10 grand.
Well, he was
9,500.
in 18. Yeah. 85 grand. 85 grand.
I definitely had a holographic Charizard when I was a kid, man.
Dude, me freaking too.
I don't know what happened to those cards.
So I made a deal with him. I told him, I bet I can find my old Pokemon cards. If I do, can you find the most valuable ones? I'll give you a cut. I'll pay for all the grading if you can guarantee you can sell them for bank. So I'm going over to my mom's tomorrow. I'm going to search the attic.
Do it. Do it. I'm pretty sure I gave mine to my cousin. And now I have no idea what happened to him. What happened to those.
So to make me feel better, he told me that during our generation of when it was big, it was like usually not the first edition cards, which those are the ones that sell for a lot. And those are
really?
They came out with first edition cards,
yeah.
But then they came out with, he called them base cards, which were like the cards that we grew up on. So it was like all 102 base intro Pokemon cards.
Oh, so that's likely what we had.
Stamp on it.
Okay, so that's likely what we had was the base cards. Okay.
But there is a chance because there are still unopened packets of Pokemon cards that are first edition.
Well, so, I've been seeing Penguin Zero on YouTube. He's also a Twitch streamer. Has been opening Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Yep.
He posted a picture on Twitter. He's got boxes of Yu-Gi-Oh card packs, like, and he just opens them on stream, and he's like, this is like $27. This is $35. Holy shit, this one's $700. I was just like, what the fuck?
I was scrolling through Facebook and I saw someone open up a $30,000
oh my god
Charizard.
Oh my god. That's nuts. How much are the packs?
I don't even know.
Because obviously it's like hitting the lotto to do that, but
yeah, I don't know how much the packs are.
Huh. That's awesome. My my wife's grandfather obviously does not have Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but he actually bought huge sets of baseball, football, and hockey cards back in the 70s and 80s. And he has kept these cards in a storage facility since then. So 70s was 50 years ago at this point. And he, unfortunately has been furloughed with COVID at his job. And that's basically what he's been doing, is selling baseball cards on eBay. He's been making not the kind of money you were just talking about with Pokemon cards, but he said he's been making about $3,000 a month.
Really?
Which is like, I mean, that's a decent income. Like,
yeah.
So, yeah, he's so funny because my wife's grandmother, his wife, has always given him such a hard time for keeping these cards. Like, they're never going to be worth anything. And now he's got this sense of confirmation from it. But yeah, he did the same thing. But it's interesting because he's not buying and selling. he's just had these cards for 30 plus years and is now finally starting to sell them. And I guess it's a good time for trading cards right now, because not only are individual people buying them, but he's actually selling them a lot to sports memorabilia stores, because they haven't been open during COVID. So basically all they've been doing is trying to get like an inventory, and like they've been able to focus their resources on that. So like he'll do the same thing where he'll sell maybe a box of them, but then say, hey, I've got 10 more boxes. And sometimes if it is like a merchandise store, they'll be like, yeah, let's do that. Let's just do them all together. So then it's much easier for him, and yeah, works out those deals. So interesting that trading cards are, of all styles, are so big now. And I think it's mostly because of COVID, honestly.
So we kind of pinned it down to that, like, all these rich people who are into collectibles are bored, don't have other things to go do and spend their money on. So they're like, yeah,
that's probably
Pokemon
it.
card for $8,000. Fuck it.
That's probably it, honestly. And then, of course, like people trying to make money off of it as well.
Yeah, true.
Like whenever a market starts to rise like that, then it just keeps going, because then other people get into it just for the buying and selling, which is kind of like what cryptocurrency has always been, even though it's supposed to be a currency. It's never been a stable currency.
Never.
Yeah.
Never will be.
I mean, the goal of it is to be, but yeah, I don't see it happening anytime soon, really.
Yeah. It's the technology behind the like crypto, what are they called? Oh my gosh. Blockchain. The blockchain technology.
Yeah.
It is where the real value is, I feel like. But it's just hidden behind these like...
Well, blockchain can be completely non-currency based as well.
But it's they are paying the people to mine for the blockchain, and they reward them with the currency, right?
Yes, but I'm saying blockchain can be used outside of the currency sphere as well.
Right, for just security purposes, as long as you mine it yourself, or not mine it, but you basically have enough power to create the blockchain on your own.
Yeah,
without having to hire outside.
It's like a highly trusted level of verification, basically. And that's why it works really well for cryptocurrencies. But like other types of contracts can be formed with blockchain as well. Like like I work for a healthcare IT company. We've been looking at like blockchain technologies to maybe store our medical records on. That's a whole other topic that like I don't think is feasible for right now, but
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. Wow, this has been a very wide-ranging podcast.
This has been chicken wings to crypto. Cool.
And they're not even really chicken wings.
No, they aren't.
Yeah.
They're Mini-Tendies.
Mini-Tendies. That's yes. I'm calling them that from now on for sure. All right. Well, I had a bunch of other topics, but I think that pretty much should be time for us. I know it's getting late.
Yeah. Yep. Yes, please. So. I have work.
I don't.
I'm so envious.
My work is picking up a GPU. All right, dude. Well, it was fun.
Oh.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. Glad to be back. And hopefully we'll be back next week and not take any more breaks. Keep that momentum going.
Yeah. We're going to build on that momentum. We're just keep going. Keep going. Cool. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.